Planning a weekend escape to Door County, Wisconsin? We'll show you how to make the most of it. With a mix of stunning nature, cozy eats, and some cultural gems to explore. Most things you'll want to do are clustered toward the top end of the peninsula, so we recommend staying north of Sturgeon Bay. Consider towns like Bailey's Harbor, Egg Harbor, Ephraim, and Sister Bay. So how to spend your weekend? You can start your Saturday morning in the charming bayside village of Ephraim. It's quiet, peaceful, and has that classic small town hallmark magic that makes you slow down and breathe. For breakfast, you've got options. Sunset Harbor Grill has classic American breakfast food, modest prices, and a view of Eagle Harbor that makes your morning coffee taste so much better. Just 7 minutes up the road in neighboring Sister Bay is another great breakfast spot, Carroll House Restaurant. Carroll House is delicious, unpretentious, and hearty, serving up nostalgic breakfast classics. And now that you're fueled up and ready to take on the world, it's time to visit Peninsula State Park. This place is massive, nearly 4,000 acres of dense forest along the stunning shoreline of Green Bay, with plenty of trails for hiking and biking. Peninsula State Park is considered one of Wisconsin's most complete state parks, offering a full array of recreational activities. You'll find over 460 campsites, tennis and volleyball courts, a sandy beach, and a full 18-hole golf course, the only Wisconsin state park with that amenity. If you do one thing here, make it Eagle Tower. You can march right up the stairs or opt for the ramp that's stroller and wheelchair accessible and gradually elevates into the treetops. Keep an eye out for bald eagles, which can be seen here year-round. At the top of Eagle Tower, panoramic views out into Green Bay that are always breathtaking but get turned up even an extra notch when the canopy embraces its full fall colors. Toward the west side of the Peninsula State Park, you'll find Eagle Bluff Lighthouse. This is far more than a pretty building. It's a piece of history and a tribute to all those keepers who shepherded ships through countless dangerous storms. Guided tours are available, where you'll hear stories that bring this place to life. On our last visit, they were restoring the summer kitchen and rebuilding a side barn. So cool to see history being restored and preserved for future generations. If you're ready for a little adventure, Eagle Trail at Peninsula State Park is a great pick. It's about 2 miles long and takes you beneath the enormous cliffs of Eagle Bluff that the camera simply doesn't do justice. Eagle Trail winds through the forest, offering plenty of glimpses of Eagle Harbor that'll make you stop and stare. It's got some stairs and rocky parts and climbs a total of 200 feet. But the views, totally worth it if you're able. Lunchtime. Okay, so you've spent your Saturday morning at Peninsula State Park, but now you're getting hungry. Luckily, nearby in Sister Bay is one of the most unique places you gotta stop for lunch. And yes, it's the place with goats on the roof. Al Johnson's Swedish restaurant and boutique is a local legend and has been serving up Swedish comfort food since the 1940s. But what really makes it famous are the goats. From late May to mid-October, goats graze on the restaurant's sod-covered roof like it's the most normal thing in the world. The tradition dates back to 1973 and now it's one of the most iconic sites in all of Door County. Sure, it's a gimmick, but it's one of those quirky, only Wisconsin moments where you just can't help but smile. In good weather, the goats usually arrive after 9 a.m. and are gone by 3 p.m. You should know that their outdoor menu is more limited than when dining indoors, so you'll have to decide between more food options or a front row view of the goats. After lunch, take some time to digest and explore Sister Bay. It's one of the cutest towns in Door County, with a walkable waterfront and plenty of little shops to enjoy. Afternoon, Cana Island Lighthouse. For your Saturday afternoon, you can tour historic Cana Island Lighthouse and Museum. This postcard-perfect lighthouse is just outside Bailey's Harbor, about 20 minutes from Sister Bay. This lighthouse from 1869 sits on an island just barely separated from the mainland, and getting there is part of the fun. When water levels are low, you can walk right across the sandy, rocky causeway. But when Lake Michigan is high, you might opt to ride one of Door County's more unique transportation options, a complimentary tractor-drawn hay wagon. The wagon often runs even when water is low, so choose the option that's best for you. Cana Island is basically an open-air museum, with artifacts dating from over a century ago. You can explore the old keeper's quarters, see the oil house, and wander along the beautiful rugged shoreline. But of course, the real highlight is climbing the lighthouse. This magnificent tower stands 89 feet tall, and to reach the top, you'll need to conquer all 97 steps of the tight, spiral staircase. It's a workout, but the view is worth every single step. When you do step out onto the gallery deck, you're hit with an incredible 360-degree panoramic view. Lake Michigan expands as far as the eye can see, all the way to the horizon. On the other side, a striking view overlooking the Door County Peninsula. Cana Island is open from May to October, so time your trip right and make sure this incredible landmark is on your Door County to-do list. Dinner time. Fishboil at the old post office. After a day of adventure, it's time for dinner, and you might as well partake in the famous Door County tradition of a fishboil. Here, we feature the old post office restaurant in Ephraim. A Door County fishboil is more than a meal. It's a tradition that dates back generations. Fishboils started on the peninsula with Scandinavian settlers in the 1800s. Well, when they needed an efficient way to feed large crews of fishermen and lumberjacks, they used what they had available, fish and firewood. A fishboil features a big pot of Lake Michigan whitefish, boiled with salt and a few veggies over a fire. This necessity-turned-tradition is now a major tourist attraction. You'll gather around the outdoor cauldron where your master boiler, the chef and storyteller, starts the show. The fire roars as he explains the process and the history. It starts with boiling water and a huge amount of salt, and then fresh potatoes, onions, and finally, the locally caught Lake Michigan whitefish. The next step is controversial, but key to proper cooking, honed over a century of practice. The master boiler warns the crowd of what's to come, and then throws a can of kerosene onto the fire below, the climactic boil over. This burst of flame and heat forces the water to overflow, spilling any floating soot and scum right out of the pot. It's a perfect finale and the signal that dinner is ready to be served. The fish is mild and served simply with lemon, seasoning salt, and a big cup of melted butter. Your sides include boiled potatoes and onions, as well as coleslaw and 3 types of bread. A highlight is the generous slice of Door County cherry pie, with optional ice cream. It's the perfect sweet and tart ending to a dinner that truly gives you a taste of the local history and flavors. The old post office is pretty old-fashioned and only takes reservations via phone call. As your Saturday winds down in Door County, there's only one thing to do, and that's enjoy the sunset. No matter where you are in the peninsula, the sunsets are just stunning. Some of our favorite spots are Sunset Park in Sturgeon Bay, the waterfront in Fish Creek, or along Ephraim shoreline where you can watch the sun dip behind Peninsula State Park. We stayed on Clark Lake near Jacksonport, and it did not disappoint. The sky lit up with those perfect pink and gold tones as we ended the evening around a cozy campfire. For Sunday morning, you can start your day along Door County's eastern shore, near the quiet town of Jacksonport, where 2 remarkable parks sit side by side: Cave Point County Park and Whitefish Dunes State Park. Cave Point is one of the most iconic spots in the area. Here, wave-carved limestone cliffs rise above the rambunctious waters of Lake Michigan, creating dramatic views and a soundtrack of crashing waves. On windy days, when the waves get angry, they can launch sprays of water 30 feet or more into the air. It's a thrill, but you have to respect this coastline and be careful, because it's seriously powerful. If the weather's calm, consider joining a kayak tour to paddle along the rugged shoreline and get a close-up look at the caves and dramatic cliffs. From Cave Point, drive next door or hike along the Black Trail, a gorgeous path that connects Cave Point to Whitefish Dunes State Park just to the south. The trail offers a gentle lakeside hike through forested terrain on your way to Wisconsin's tallest sand dunes. The change in scenery here is striking. One minute you're on these rugged cliffs watching crashing waves, and the next you're walking along a smooth, mile-long sandy beach. Whitefish Dune State Park sprawls across 863 acres of protected waterfront. It's a great relaxing spot to spend your morning and maybe even dip your toes into the water. Sunday afternoon, head north to take the ferry to Washington Island. But first, you'll cross Door County's iconic curvy road, Highway 42. It's one of the most photographed spots in the entire state of Wisconsin. Whether it's the green of spring and summer, the vibrant fall colors, or a snowy wonderland, Door County's curvy highway delivers jaw-dropping views. Found on top of the Door County Peninsula near Northport and the Washington Island Ferry, this stretch of Highway 42 weaves through the forest with 15 distinct curves. The curves of Highway 42 literally force you to slow down, but it's up to you to revel in your surroundings. Washington Island. Luckily, the winding road takes you to your next adventure, the Washington Island Ferry. From Northport Pier, you can hop on the scenic 30-minute ferry ride to Washington Island. Tickets are first come, first served, so it's best to arrive a little early. The ferry itself is part of the adventure. You can sit out on the open deck and feel the breeze, or relax inside the cozy heated cabin as you cross the passage known as Death's Door, a treacherous strait that's seen many shipwrecks. Not to worry though, these modern vessels make navigating the Great Lakes far safer than the ships of yore. Once you're on Washington Island, head to Mountain Park Lookout Tower for some of the best views around. It's a bit of a climb, 186 steps to the top. But the panoramic view is absolutely worth it. You'll see the island stretching out below, framed by the deep blue of Lake Michigan. Another can't-miss spot is Schoohouse Beach, one of only 5 beaches in the world made entirely of smooth, glacier-polished limestone rocks. They're mesmerizing to look at, but don't pocket any. It's protected and you could face a hefty fine. The water here is crystal clear and perfect for a quick swim on a warm day. Before you head back to the mainland, stop by the Stavkirke Church, a Viking-inspired wooden chapel. It looks medieval, but was built in the 1990s, a tribute to the island's Scandinavian heritage. If you have extra time during your Door County visit and it's the right season, consider activities like apple or cherry picking or visiting a local winery. There's also 2 more state parks worth adding to your list. The Door County Peninsula has many great state parks like Peninsula and Potawatomi, and where we are today, Newport State Park. Newport State Park is part of the International Dark Sky Association, meaning this place has some of the darkest skies in the country, great for stargazing. The park has some nice lakefront, with hiking trails and some longer treks through quiet forests. They also have a fancy, new, accessible boardwalk. And last but not least, just south of Sturgeon Bay sits Potawatomi State Park. It has a beautiful mix of forested hills, limestone cliffs, and shoreline. The overlook from the old ski hill is one of our favorite lookouts in all of Door County. The park also has a brand new observation tower to take in the sights from an even higher vantage point. So what's your favorite Door County activity? Let us know in the comments and press all those nice buttons. We love you.